We begin eliminating distractions. We begin eliminating things that don't need to be there. Chances are they're things that we want to be there. But as we trim the fat within our current 24, a lot of time is going to become available. Welcome to Objective Secure. In this episode, we are going to discuss the first of 4 tenets within what is represented in the book as the warrior mindset. And we use the warrior ethos to provide us that framework as we move through the discussion of mindset mentality. The first of those being, I will always place the mission first. Always is a strong word. It's meant to be used in terms of the impact it creates as an ethos, as a belief, as part of our character. And in this section, there's really 2 things that we discuss in order to enable us to place the mission first. The first is time management, or as I prefer to refer to it as time prioritization. The reason why I like prioritization is because it places ownership on us. We decide how we use our time. Day to day, hour to hour, minute to minute. We choose how we are going to use our time. We decide how we are going to prioritize all the different things that we need or want to do within the 24 that we're given every single day. Time is our most limited and our most valuable resource. Once it's gone, it's gone. You're never getting it back. That minute that just passed, it's gone forever. And I know that most of us struggle with time. I don't have enough time. I ran out of time. You hear this constantly. And I understand it because most of us are juggling many, many balls. Most of us have self-identified responsibilities and obligations. Knowing that, we still must accept the reality that we decide how we spend our 24. It's a choice. One of the first steps in maximizing our time prioritization is an honest assessment of our current investment, of our current time investment, an honest assessment. I often recommend, even just for a day, document every single minute of that day. Now, I understand that there's a lot of minutes within a day, but on a simple level, from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. I did this. 6 to 6:30 I did this. Run through a full 24 and then look at it. If we're being honest with ourselves, which again, there's no reason not to, because this is us talking to us. This is self-reflection. This is an internal evaluation, an internal assessment. If we are honest with ourselves, chances are we're going to look at that 24 and we're going to see a whole lot of time wasted. Or better put, time that we could reallocate elsewhere that would be more beneficial to us reaching our objective, to us reaching our next objective secure. And through that honest assessment, we begin eliminating distractions. We begin eliminating things that don't need to be there. Chances are they're things that we want to be there. But as we trim the fat within our current 24, a lot of time is going to become available for us to then reinvest elsewhere. That's a difficult process to go through. Yes, downtime is important. Rest is important. Recalibration is important. Recovery is important. This is not me telling anybody what your priorities are. This is purely a drill, a way for each individual to assess how we are currently spending our 24, and then decide individually what is deemed a distraction, what is deemed purely there for fun, what could, although painful, go away to open up the opportunity to reinvest that time elsewhere. Deliberately factoring in white space, what we refer to as white space, meaning a deliberate break, a deliberate space in time to rest, recover, recalibrate. That's step one in time prioritization. Within, I will always place the mission first. The second and last in this block is sacrifice. A term that we all hear very often. I think it gets thrown around quite cavalier. So what is sacrifice? Sacrifice, as far as I'm concerned, is giving up the things we are fortunate to have. Giving up the things or thing we are fortunate to have. And this may be something that we have actually earned, yet still passing on that. That's sacrifice. And when you take it a step farther and you marry that up with time prioritization, where not only are we sacrificing this thing that I'm fortunate to have, but now I'm layering in that place something more beneficial to me accomplishing my goal. Now we're really making some progress. Sacrifice can be something as simple and everyday as a group of friends that are going downtown. It's Saturday night. You're invited out to enjoy a night out. Cocktails, some dancing. Sounds like a blast. We, in that moment, are fortunate to have the friends. We're fortunate to have a little extra cash we can burn. We're fortunate to have Saturday night off from work, perhaps. We're fortunate to have those things. Am I willing to pass on that and replace that time and energy with something more in line with me accomplishing my goal? Something more in line with me reaching objective secure. It could be even simpler it could be a nice Italian dinner. And I've struggled through this many times. I'm half Italian, grew up really close to my Italian side of my family. Lasagna, ziti, stuffed shells, meatballs, pasta, spaghetti. This is what I grew up on. I could eat that every single day and be completely content. My wife, Italian, and a phenomenal cook. So, let's say I've done my meal prep, I've got my cooler, I'm doing all the right things according to my schedule, according to my strategy, according to my tactics, and I come home from work and my wife has cooked a batch of homemade ziti and meatballs. Even just talking about this right now, I'm salivating. was unexpected. I walk in and I can smell it the second the door opens. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. I am extraordinarily fortunate to have that in that moment in time. Not only am I fortunate to have a wife, one who's a phenomenal cook, but she went out of her way and created this masterpiece in the kitchen that is now in front of me. Am I willing to sacrifice those blessings, those things I'm fortunate to have, and replace that with something more in line with reaching objective secure? That's sacrifice. Now the question is, are you willing to make those sacrifices? Are you willing to be labeled a buzzkill? Are you willing to be branded boring? Are you willing to be looked at as predictable? How bad do you want it?